Okay, let's go.
Hello my friends, my name is Schmitt Wylde and welcome back to the second part of my quick play, quick view of the NES Black Boxes games. The last time I am doing in alphabetical order, so in the last video we took a quick look at 10-yard fight up until Excite Bike. Today we're gonna be looking at golf up until Popeye. It's 10 games in between. Don't mind the mess in my bed over there. What there is to say about these games, I'm gonna try to talk a little bit about them in their specific order, but this time I'm gonna try to talk about them with my own words and what I actually think about them, because last time I was looking at Wikipedia and trying to find information about the game, but honestly I think that's a little bit boring maybe, so I just wanna say my quick to share my view of the game in a quick manner. So that's that. Two things to note is that I will not be talking about pinball and I will not be talking about Ice Climber. Yes, this time I said the game correctly, because both of these games I already played on the channel as part of the Tester Beats challenge. I will be linking them either in the comment down below, in the description of the video, or maybe in the card that could pop up in the channel, or in the information that will be shown on the screen. Either way, I already talked about those games, so I'm not gonna talk about them again. Another thing that I want to point out is, I was gonna say that in the next video, the part 3, but I figure I might just say right now. While playing this game, I noticed that, for example, for the first time I've played Kung Fu on NES, and it is surprisingly a good game. I found it very addictive, kind of. And I can see myself playing this game more in depth in the future, so expect me to play a few of these games that I'm covering in this 3-part video review series, whatever. Expect me to play a few of them more thoroughly and with more care, let's put it that way. But in any case, if I ever do that, I will be posting them here on YouTube, of course, and you guys will be able to watch it. And yeah, that's just a quick introduction. I'm gonna leave you off with the remaining of the video with the quick gameplay of 8 NES Black Boxes games. I hope you enjoy. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment down below, leave me a suggestion of what games you want me to play. Feel free to do that. See you soon, and as always, take care. Well, here we have Golf on the NES, one of the most famous golf games on the system. Maybe was one of the first. Even though I'm from Brazil, I kind of like to play golf on video game, that is, because on, like, for real, I don't think that would be an interesting sport for me, at least. But I really liked my experience when I played PGA Tour and a few other more modern golf games that we have nowadays. But I cannot say the same about this one. I don't know if I didn't understand how to play the game correctly, which, to be honest, that's probably the reason. But I didn't enjoy this one that much. So yeah, I don't see myself playing this game in the near future. I know that this game was featured in the Tester Beats challenge, and I kinda give it a shot at it, but with no success. So there's that. And yeah, this is golf. If you enjoy the sport and wanna give it a shot, I don't know, be my guest. Here we have Gunshoe, a game that I've never heard before. I probably read it about somewhere, but honestly I had no idea what to expect of this game. Proof of this is that when I was playing the game to capture footage, I had no idea this was a light gun game. As I previously mentioned on the last video, since I'm using an emulator, it gets very easy to play light gun games on an emulator because you use your mouse. So yeah, it's pretty easy to hit the target, but there's a catch. Duck Hunt was pretty simple because all you gotta do was hit the ducks or hit the clay plates. Here we have more things happening on the screen. I didn't read about the story of the game, I don't know what the goal is. At the very beginning there is a letter, so you can have an idea what to do. But basically, from what I could understand, you have to reach point A to B. You are this guy that never stops walking, and it is your job to make sure that he reaches his destination. To do so, you can do in a few ways. You can either shoot him to make him jump, and collect balloons in the process to help you gather points, because this is an old NES games and it's all about the points, baby. Or you can also shoot the bottles that come flying towards him from the side of the screen, and eventually some birds that will fly from above. And that's basically it. I think you need to collect a few things throughout the level as well in order to actually finish the level. I'm not really sure, but this is basically the gist of the game. Shoot him to make him jump and collect balloons. If you see you are in the path of an unavoidable bottle, you can try to shoot the bottle, although it's a little bit difficult. You will see that I will manage to do this a few times later on in the footage. But basically that's what you have to do. I don't know if this game has an ending or not, but contrary to Golf, this game I actually see myself playing more, because I kind of like it. It's very fun to try and get further each time you play it, you know? And because, like I said, it is kind of difficult to hit the target, because the bottles come flying in a very fast manner, for my liking at least. And I can imagine this game being very frustrating, especially in the older days where you actually had to use the light gun, because we all know that the light gun can be pretty unreliable at times. You can be facing the light gun exactly point blank in your screen and the game does not register your shot. So I can see this game being very, very frustrating to a lot of people. But yeah, this is my take on Gunshoe. Very nice game. This one I do recommend. Gyromyte, or Robot Gyro in this case, in the title screen. This is one of the first games on the NES as well, and one of two games that are compatible to play with our famous robot pal, Rob the Robot. I first came in contact with this game in the early days of YouTube, at least early days for me, in a video from the Irate Gamer. You guys, I believe most of you probably know who this guy is. He became... A lot of people don't like him because I think he was copying the AV Gen, I don't know. But truth is that his video on Rob the Robot was one of the first videos I ever saw on YouTube back in the day. And in his video he played this game, along with another one that we'll be covering on the next one. And as you can see, this game is pretty simple. All you gotta do is you control this old guy and you have to collect all the bombs in the level. The catch here is that you are supposed to play this with Rob the Robot. So each time you press start, you kinda activate Rob to look at the screen, and he will move the pillars, either the blue one or the red one, depending on which button you press. And let's say you press start and then press the B button. I don't remember right now, but let's say it moves the blue pillar. Once you do that, you gotta wait for Rob to do all of his motions, collect the spinner to make some weight into the thingy to press the button. And honestly, one thing that it takes a millisecond to just press a button, with Rob it makes like an event. It takes minutes, or I don't know, it's weird and it's not practical at all. It is a fun gimmick, I'll give you that. But again, I'm playing this on an emulator. I don't have a Rob the Robot to play with me. I don't know if it's something from the emulator itself, but all I had to do to play this game was press start and then press either A or B to move the pillars that I want. That's why you are seeing a very fast-pacing gameplay right now. The real game with the real robot is not anything like it, so I think it's the kind of game that you have to play in the real hardware with the real accessories to have a really good feeling of how the game really is. Other than that, I don't have anything more to say, I guess. It's Gyromyte. Yeah. Demon's Alley is another game that I had no idea what was gonna be about. At first glance, I thought it was gonna be some kind of arcade game or action game where you go into an alley and have to fight bad guys, something like that. I don't know. But it turns out to be another light gun game. So the early days of the NES was pretty heavy on the gimmick of light gun, which is awesome. Don't get me wrong. It's nice that we had options to play various games with the gun, you know. On the game mode that I'm showing right now, I don't know if it has an ending. I don't know if the game has something other than this. It probably has, but honestly I didn't check it, so that was my fault. But anyway, all you gotta do here is just shoot the target. It's one of those target practice arenas, kind of like that, and you have to shoot the bad guy, usually the one that is aiming a gun at you. A few images are very weird to understand, like some bad guys look like a good guy, and you gotta have to make a split-second decision there, and sometimes you might get it wrong. Sometimes your light gun might miss the target, which can quite possibly happen. So other than that, it's just, at least the game mode that I chose, it's pretty much just to rank up a high score, and that's about it. Maybe one day I'll visit this game again and give it a shot on another game mode to see what was that all about. But of all the light gun games that I've tested so far, I would still prefer either Duck Hunt or Gumshoe. I would skip this one. Yeah, nothing interesting about it, at least for me. Now, this is a game that I had fun playing. Of all the games I'm gonna cover in this video, counting Pinball and Ice Climber, sorry, this one is the one that I had the most fun with. I even sent a message out to Bits and Glory on his Discord, suggesting that this game should be maybe not the next, but eventually in a future Tester Beats challenge, because this game is quite fun. It controls pretty well. It's pretty simple to understand. All you gotta do is, from what I understood, you have to clear each floor. Apparently there are 5, and you just need to hit the enemies that crosses your way. Pretty simple, right? This game actually reminds me a lot of The Legend of Kage, or The Legend of Cage, whatever it's pronounced, that game. A game that I already covered on the channel, FYI. But this one, at least for me, is way better. It looks more archaic in its graphics, but I know we were talking about 1985, 1986, maybe 1984. I don't know when this game came out. And back then, graphics wasn't something to be gloating about. Like, usually every game had the same graphics, right? But compare this game to Legend of Kage. That game, although had smaller sprites, I believe that game had a better graphic. But the gameplay kinda sucked. And this one is the opposite. The gameplay is very addicting, very fun to play. You become engaged in the game, you know. Where in the Legend of Kage, all you gotta do is finish it, and you kind of, at the end of it, you kind of feel, meh, what a waste of time. And it was a pretty short game as well, but at least that's a good thing. But this one I'm definitely playing again sometime soon. I'm not sure, but I think this game has an ending. It kind of looks like it has. But I will try to reach the end of this game, or it will probably loop around at the very first stage, because as you can see there is a high score at the top. So most games that has scores allow you to continue playing after you finish it, so maybe that's something I'll do in the future. We'll see. But this one I 100% recommend you guys playing. It's very fun, it's very nice to play. Mach Rider, or Mach Rider, I don't know how to pronounce this game. It was the first time I ever played it, to be honest. And at first glance, it kinda reminds me as a game that is a mix of Super Hang-On, Road Rash, and Twisted Metal. Because you control this motorcycle, you need to keep driving in the middle of the road. It's one of those games where you barely have to turn, because the game pretty much turns on itself. But the catch here, the thing that I found it different is that apparently you have gears in this game to to drive your motorcycle, which I know nowadays it's pretty obvious that motorcycles and cars all have gears when you play a racing game, but I don't remember any game from back in the day where you have this option to change gears to go faster. So that's a nice thing, although I don't think it worked all that well, because I only felt I was actually gaining speed if I went straight into 4th gear. If I understand this correctly, I might be completely wrong in my take here. And it's a little bit weird of how the gears work in this game. And from the very little time that I played this game, what I could gather is that you have to go from point A to point B, destroy the enemies that are in your path, and avoid the obstacles like water puddles, oil puddles, and other drivers along the road. And it's pretty easy to have your bike destroyed by either them blowing you up by ramming you from the back, or by you unwillingly driving on top of one of these puddles that I talked about and losing control of your motorbike and crashing on the side of the road. So other than that, an okay game, I guess. Nothing really special about it, in my opinion. Yeah, Mach Rider. Mario Brothers, Mario Bros, whatever you wanna call it. I think this is out of this entire list that I'm talking about. Maybe this is one that doesn't need an introduction, because I believe most, if not every one of you, know about this game. Although a few of you could be thinking about Super Mario Brothers instead of this one. The more younger generation, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, this is the original Mario Brothers game, one of the first games that have our good friend Mario as a protagonist. And I almost never can say this, but this is one of the few games that I kinda grew up with. I believe it was during my Super Mario Bros. 3 playthrough on the channel. I pointed out that I had a Super Nintendo when I was a kid, and the only game that I had was the Super Mario Bros. All-Stars, that has all of the Super Mario Bros. From the NES, including the Japanese version of the second game. And packed with Super Mario Bros. 3 on that collection, there was an option to play the minigame Mario Brothers, this version, but in a higher resolution, a higher graphical quality, let's put it that way. and that was actually my first contact with this game. So I actually remember myself playing this game with a few friends of mine that when they come at my home, I played with my mother. Believe it or not, she doesn't understand anything about video games, but back in the day she used to play this with me, so that was pretty nice. And even though I have kind of a fond memory of this game, I don't really enjoy it that much. I mean, I know it probably has some importance in the gaming world or whatever, but honestly, if I have to pick between this or any Super Mario, I'll play any Super Mario any day of the week. So, but it's still a interesting game. It's a nice game for you to challenge your friends to see who gets the high score. I would probably suck at this because I hardly ever get past stage 10, so I am not a very good Mario Brothers player, but I try my best. Here we have Popeye on the NES. I didn't know about this game before I started to do this video. I didn't know Popeye had a game on the NES, like a black box game to start with. And to my surprise, this is actually a very good game. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Donkey Kong and a little bit of Wrecking Crew. It has similarities, you know what I mean? And it is a very fun game to play, actually. Of course, I didn't read anything about the game because why would I, right? Why do any research for the video? Come on, this is professional YouTube we're talking about. But from the gameplay that I did, what I could gather is that all you gotta do is avoid... I don't know the name of the bad guy. I know in Portuguese his name is Brutus, but in English I have no idea, so I'm sorry. But you have to avoid him while collecting the items that Olive Oil drops down for you to collect. If you think you are about to get hit, or if you think you'll be more safe, you can grab the spinach that is on the side of the screen, keeps moving around. If you grab it, you will get stronger, just like in the cartoon, and you will be able to punch the bad guy away. And you gotta do that for all of the stages, and each stage, from what I could understand, has a different theme. Like the second stage, you, instead of collecting hearts, you are collecting music notes, and in the third stage, if I remember correctly, you collect the letters that spell help or help me. I don't remember. And that's pretty much the gist of the game, I guess. It's pretty much what you have to do. Pretty simple, but at the same time can be very complicated to play, especially on the later levels. This game is one that I would recommend everyone to play it because it's a lot of fun. And another one of those games for you to play with your friends to see who has the high score or who can go further into the game. I don't know if you can actually beat it. It probably is the same deal as Donkey Kong, where you kind of beat it, but the game starts to loop around, so maybe that's something in that nature, but I can't confirm for you guys for sure because I didn't reach the end yet. Perhaps one day I will.